decided to record outside because it's low-key beautiful. But basically, I feel like we need to talk about the dating scene and how it's not very possible for guys, at least straight dudes, to just go outside to meet people. I remember I saw this video recently that made me think about it, and it was kind of talking about how the dating scene is really hard for both guys and girls in our generation right now, because I mean, it ends up being like kind of a multitude of things, like people being too nonchalant, both guys and girls, and kind of the idea that you know, girls playing like hard to get is cool, and like that's the way that you do it. And then I think that we've kind of developed into a scene where it's also, you know, guys are trying to play hard to get. And when you have both sides doing that, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. But another thing was kind of just like dudes approaching girls is something that's so shamed on in the media. And I remember in this video, they were just like, just go outside. Like, just go outside, do stuff alone, go to a bar, go, I don't know, line dancing, go there alone, and you'll meet people. And I kind of thought about that a little bit, and I feel like that is so much harder to do than people think. For example, I do this thing in the mornings called Swim Social. I actually just got back from it. Super cool. My best friend, she runs it, and it's basically just a bunch of people getting together, jumping in the ocean, and then getting coffee afterwards, hence the coffee. And something crazy about it is, you know, this is one of those social events where, you know, people will say, just go outside, you'll meet people. And what's so weird about this is that it ends up being, I would say, probably like a 5-to-1 ratio of girls to guys. Like the other day, it was, one of the guys at the Swim Social thing pointed out to me like, oh, like, bro, there's like no other guys here. I was like, what? And there was only three guys, and it was like 15 girls. And I kind of thought about that a little bit more with this whole like just go outside thing. And I think the reason why there's no guys there is because guys are just too afraid to be you know, kind of shamed for appearing in these social settings. But it is, I also feel like it is so valid that guys don't want to go to these things where there are literally, it's in the name, Swim and Social, where you will socialize with people. And it's just, I think it's multiple things. It's not wanting to appear weird, but I think that as of recently, with the entire, you know, performative male thing, which I think is passing over, and I think that there are a lot of good and bad things that have come out of it. Like, for example, like kind of bringing awareness to like female manipulators, you know, dudes who are like pretending to be all like feminine or whatever so they can get with girls and read feminist literature. But it's also done so much terrible things to people. Like, for example, when it comes to feminist literature, it is like genuinely a joke to be a guy reading feminist literature nowadays. Like, if you see somebody pulling out a feminist literature book at a cafe, people are gonna think, oh, like, this guy's a performative male, like he's just trying to pick up some chicks, when that's like the entire opposite point of, you know, feminist literature in the first place. Like, it's supposed to be shared across both genders so that you can bring awareness of, you know, what the literature is about. But I think back also to this couple weeks ago. I was down in SF and I was out with some friends, 2 girls and 1 guy, and we're hanging out at this bar, and a lot of like very performative males tend to show up at this bar. Whether they're like actually manipulative or not, it doesn't really matter. But there was this guy in particular who was, he showed up alone and he was just drawing, and he was just sketching like people and things around the bar. And he comes up to one of my friends and goes like, "Hey, I drew you." And she was like, "Oh, that's cool," and walked away and told us about it. And we immediately all started clowning this dude. And I thought it was hilarious at the time that this guy was just sitting there, you know, at his table with his little like his like sketchbook. And then I kind of realized, like, I'm a part of the problem, and everybody is kind of a part of the problem, because media has taught us that kind of behavior is ridiculous and like worth laughing about. And I mean, not to say that there aren't people who would think that, you know, having some dude draw them in a bar is, you know, a cute and romantic thing. I think when it does work, it works really well. But it just at the time seemed like such a socially acceptable thing to just make fun of this dude and be like, "Bro, that shit's funny as fuck. Like, what is he doing? What is he doing just sketching people?" Like, he looked hella performative and shit. And I'm sure that he was just doing it because he like loved doing it. But this is like exactly to my point on why I don't think straight dudes can just go outside alone and meet people. For me, I feel like I always have to have like a lady friend with me. For example, like with Swim and Social, I run that thing with one of my best friends, and I feel like if she wasn't there, it would be so much more different, and it would be really weird for me to be just going up to people and talking to them and starting conversation with them. And I feel like me having her around, as somebody who can like validate me in this social setting, makes it so that I feel comfortable with talking to other girls, because then they can see like, oh, this guy's super chill with this girl, like he's not gonna be creepy or whatever. And it's a weird situation that I end up getting put in. And I think if other people try taking this approach, it also keeps you from meeting new people in some cases. For example, like, I would go out to the bars a lot with 2 of my lady friends over the summer a lot. And we would always go out and, you know, like dance together, whatever, completely platonic friendship. And I never ended up talking to like any girls at the bars while we were out, at least in a flirty manner. I know that there were some people who I was like mutuals with and like, oh, nice seeing you, blah, blah, blah. But I, even then, just have never felt like I could go up to somebody and be vulnerable around them. And maybe I think a big thing of it too is just there are phones out now at bars, and people, like, there is that fear that you will be recorded or, you know, photographed. There's this one guy that I could think of who was talking to one of my friends at the bars, and he was kind of like all over her, and she wasn't really fucking with it. And me and my other friend, we thought it would be funny to just like be like, I mean, we have pictures where he's in the background and he's just like, and we're just like kind of clowning this dude. But the thing too is, like, where do you draw the line with that? It's just, it's so confusing. But I don't know. That's kind of just my 2 cents. I think that society and culture as a whole needs to kind of shift away from this, like, dogging on people from going outside and, you know, trying to go up to girls and talk to them. Maybe we're just in a new generation where that's not the way you meet people, and you meet them on dating apps. Maybe, I don't know. It's weird, and I think it's definitely very fucked up to the guys that don't have lady friends, I guess. And if anything, it more feeds into kind of the patriarchy for those people, where I can just imagine, you know, it's like frat dudes who are, you know, their only friends are their brothers. And I don't want to clown on frat dudes. I think I know some cool frat dudes. I have some friends who are like total frat dudes. But it's a whole different culture when you're just with guy friends. And I'm also speaking from experience of being in an only guy friend group in high school. I didn't have any like lady friends in high school until I came to college. But it's just completely different, and it kind of, like, the way that I hear guys talking about girls when they're in this like only guy setting is so fucked up and so misogynistic. It's crazy, and we just keep like feeding into that. And I don't know, I'm kind of yapping at this point, but I think that at the end of the day, dating culture is really rough for our generation, and something needs to change with these, you know, people going outside. And I think that starts with the media and what we see on the media, because right now it is like completely dogged on to be just going outside and meeting new girls. It's completely dogged on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I might be doing like more nature videos. I feel like this is kind of sick, just being out in nature and whatnot. But yeah, bye-bye. Okay, this is future Gabe. Little end note that I wanted to like kind of leave off on, because I realized that the video is kind of upsetting, I guess. It's not, it's kind of a depressing ending, but I think too that if you're watching this and you're looking for a reason to just go out and do things alone and meet new people, just do it. And just like fuck everyone else, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. You are your own person at the end of the day, and I feel like that's just the best advice that you can take, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna also be trying to like do shit alone and see the world more. Kind of challenging myself to do that. I feel like that'll be kind of nice, but I'll let you guys know how that goes. Goodbye for real this time.